Hey there, viewers, and welcome to the Repair It, Don't Wreck It channel. Today I'm working on an American Standard close-coupled toilet. This toilet is designed with a 1.6 gallon or 6-liter flush. Inside the tank, there's a Flushmate pressure-assisted tank, which works quite well. The problem I had was it wasn't working very good, and at the end of the day, I discovered it had a crack in it. I called Flushmate, and after a brief discussion with them, it was decided it would be covered under warranty. The first thing you need to do is to shut off the water supply to the toilet, flush the toilet, and make sure it doesn't refill. Once you've done that, I would remove the lid, because if you don't, you're going to end up breaking it. And as you can see inside, this is not a Flushmate tank. What happened as an experiment, when I took the cracked Flushmate tank out, I tried a regular flush valve. It didn't work. So if you're thinking about it, I wouldn't bother wasting your time. Now that you have the tank, the next thing you need to do is to remove this flush valve that I installed on the experimental basis. Flushmate does sell a plastic wrench for this purpose, but if it's a one-off, I wouldn't bother. It was a little expensive for a plastic wrench. This is one of the plumbing wrenches that I had laying around, and it seems to work pretty good. A set of large channel locks would probably do the job also. Before installing the pressure assist tank, you need to put this gasket on. There wasn't any instructions in this kit. However, looking at it, I felt to put the smooth side against the smooth side on the pressure assist tank, and the rib side would go on the porcelain side, as I felt the porcelain's never perfect. It's a little porous, and having those ribs on that gasket would facilitate a clean, leak-free installation. What you need to do is get the water supply in first, and the tank itself takes up a lot of space in the porcelain tank, so it's a fairly tight fit. So you want to make sure, as you're fiddling and trying to get this tank in there, that you don't pinch the water supply. You can see it through the large opening in the bottom of the porcelain tank. The trouble is the handle and the mechanism is in the way a little bit, but I would rather have left it on like I did and just fiddle with it a bit to get it to come through the opening. Once you're satisfied that it's bottomed out and everything is in sort of the proper position, then you can obviously tighten the nut on. Before I finish tightening the nut, I want to take one last look, make sure it's centered, the water supply is in behind and not pinched, and basically just an overall quick check. It's a plastic nut on a plastic thread, so you need to be careful. Don't overdo it. The gaskets are all brand new and very supple, so it doesn't take much to get a good seal. I'm almost there. I think I'm going to just give it one more little turn after this, maybe just a touch to see where I am. That's it. That's all you need. Now I'm installing what we call the tank to bowl gasket. It does come with the replacement tank. It's a very tight fit, so make sure that you've got it on all the way and it sits flush. When you lift it up, there shouldn't be any daylight between the gasket and the tank. Now I can finish tightening the water supply. Same thing, plastic nut, plastic thread, tighten it to that point where you're happy and leave it. If you put the tank on and there's a little bit of a leak, it's fairly easy just to snug this up a little more. I would rather see you have it a little too loose than a little too tight, because when the water is on, you can tighten it enough to stop it from leaking and leave it alone. If you over tight these plastic nuts and really go crazy, they won't leak or break, but I've heard of them where down the road all of a sudden they just snap because that pressure that is created from being on so tight finally lets go. Here I've shown the washer, the gasket, and the nut before I put the tank on, just to give you an idea of the order. Here's what us plumbers call the WC supply. This is braided, which I like. You can see I've left the nut on the left side of the tank to bowl bolt. I'll get it figured out in a second. When you're handling this tank, it's very heavy. With the porcelain tank and the Flushmate tank, you need to be careful. So when you pick it up, try and get your hands underneath. So what I've done is I'm trying to get a good grip on it, and I've realized this isn't going to work. Now I've got my hands and fingers underneath, and it's not going to slip. It's a feel thing because you're leaning over the bowl with the tank in your hands, and you just keep kind of rotating it, and you'll find the holes and those bolts will drop through. So there you can see the gasket, the washer, and the nut. Now, when you look at this angle, you can see the bowl has that ridge. And what you need to do is tighten the left and the right side evenly to get the tank just to touch that bowl, and that's it. Once it touches, you stop. Because if you get crazy and you tighten it, you're going to break the part of the bowl where the nut goes through. So I've started to tighten the right side, and then I'm going to go over to the left, and I keep checking it. You can see me wiggle it. And when the wiggle is gone, stop. Now I'm putting on the WC supply. Again, another plastic nut on a plastic thread. So when these are new, you can pretty well tighten them by hand, and that's it. But this is the existing WC supply. So once I got it tightened by hand, I gave it just a bit of a turn, and that's it. You don't want to overdo these, because if you overdo them, they may even start to leak because they're too tight sometime. Here's the hardware from the old tank that was cracked. Looking at the video, the big mistake I made here is I should have put a towel down the side, because if you drop one of these nuts and it slides all the way down underneath the flush-assisted tank, you're going to have to take it all apart, because I don't know how you're going to get it out unless you get lucky with, say, a piece of metal with some sticky tape on it or whatever. But it would probably be faster just to take the tank off and fetch it. One thing I learned when I did these little clips, it does say top on them. You can see I'm looking and I'm noticing some writing, and it says top. So make sure when you put it back together, you have a good look and put it on the correct way. These are metal fasteners into plastic. So again, you need to be careful. Once you get it tightened and you just get it flush, stop. The big mistake I made here, you can see where I'm putting the screw in, and if you look down below, there's a gap. You can see that space between the plastic bracket and the metal bracket, whatever you want to call it. And this is going to come back to haunt me because it's jammed in there. You can see it on the camera because it's lower, and I'm working over top of the camera, and I never noticed it. Because the trip lever is jammed, the tank is running and it's not filling up. So what I'm doing is I'm thinking that maybe where the air, not the water, but air gets sucked into the tank through this opening. And this opening has a little rubber diaphragm, which I just put in, you can see it, and a nut goes on top. So I was thinking that maybe the rubber diaphragm was stuck together from shipping. I thought I would give you a close-up of this rubber diaphragm. In the official name, it's called a duckbill, because if you look at the front of it, it looks like the bill of a duck. I checked it again to make sure I didn't have a problem, and then I did find it off camera, and now you can see that the trip lever is free to move around and my problems are going to be solved. You know the flush valve is working when you hear it click and you see it drop. I'm double checking to make sure everything's free and moves, and the gap between the trip lever and the flush valve should be around 1/8 of an inch or so. Everything is working pretty good, but I would like to increase the gap just a little bit. The way you do it is to get your Phillips screwdriver and back out that center screw, and it will unlock the flush valve adjustment. Turning the flush valve adjustment flange clockwise will increase the gap. So I've turned it maybe 3/4 of a turn, and I think that will work just fine. In order to check it properly, I had to put the screw back down because the trip lever was hitting the screw. Now you can see how free it is, and let's give it another flush to see what's going on. And you're going to see that center piece drop. There you go. And that's the whole key to this thing working properly. If you don't have that gap, it gets jammed. But as I've checked in previous parts of the video, it's nice and loose, and that's the way it should be. I'm quite happy with this now, and I think we've solved all those setup problems. As far as the warranty experience, it was perfect. I called Flushmate, explained the problem, no arguments. Yes, sir, you need a new tank. We're going to send you out one on warranty. So I would recommend, if you do buy one of these, is to register it, which I had done. And at one point, years ago, they realized there was a problem with some of these tanks, and they sent out kits with a stainless steel strap that would go around the tank to keep it from hurting somebody if they decided to blow up. So I think that definitely helped to make my claim fairly straightforward. Once you get everything hooked up, touch all the connections with dry fingers and keep checking to see if there's any moisture on your hands. Also check this bolt that goes through the bowl and into the tank. If you have moisture here, that could be the source of your problem, or the tank to bowl gasket is leaking and it's running along the bowl down the bolt. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. And as always, repair it. Don't wreck it. Thanks for watching.